You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast with your host, Safan. Transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? This is the Highly Evolved Podcast, our weekly show that I want to call it the Week in Review. All right, my name is Safan. You can find me on Twitter and Gap.ai. And just for your awareness, this is a pro-patriot channel, America's first channel. All right, if you're not for American patriotism, please exit the channel, and let's begin. Like I said earlier, this is our weekly broadcast. I would like to call Week in Review, where we review all the crazy shenanigans that's going around in the world this week. All right, in the world of politics, world events, current affairs, all that nonsense that's happening. And by starting out, the first thing that happened in the week was Jerry Nadler, this fat, overweight sack of lard. All right, he's gonna already did it. He charged with William Barr with contempt, right? Because he's not getting everything his way, because William Barr is not complying with the Judicial Committee, and he's making shenanigans, right? Try to compare this whole thing like what happened to Eric Holder back in 2012 with Fast and Furious scandals, where it's totally different. William Barr is only refusing to redact certain information, while Eric Holder contribute to a lot of death because of gun smuggling within America and in the United States, right? Now, when we touch on the topic of gun smuggling, something else also happened this week too, that they found a pile of weapons in Los Angeles, in a wealthy area of Los Angeles next to Bel Air, right? In Beverly Hills, where the Playboys mentioned that they found like a house that was stashing weapons, right? And my theory is that this house might be a possible CIA house where they stash weapons that have something connected to Fast and Furious as well, right? Weapon exchange, weapon dealing, right? Is a lucrative business, right? And they need a place to stash it. And what a low maintenance place to stash it in rich neighborhood, all right? Who would expect? Even the cop said it himself too. Is the least expected place that these mansions would store this much guns, especially in Los Angeles, where gun sales is very, the gun laws over here is very how am I gonna say this, strict, right? And who knows, these guns that they found in this mansion might be the gun that's been being sold to the Los Angeles gang members, all right, gang organization. So they're still up in the air. The how am I gonna say this? The case is still in development, so the ATF hadn't released any further information. If they're going to release any further information, I'll be the first one to report on that. And excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. I apologize for that. I gotta wipe my nose because I don't want to show you guys how disgusting it might look, and it might not be presentable on camera. So, but let's carry on. All right. Another thing that happened is that Michael Cohen is beginning his jail sentence. If you know Michael Cohen is a former attorney for Donald Trump that's been convicted of campaign financing violation, been giving out money to all this stuff, and right now he's trying to save his butt. But this week will be the first time of his sentencing, and he's going to have not a maximum security prison, but a white collar prison. Right? It's totally different from all these prison that we see on TV where it's hard labor and stuff. So he's going. It's still a prison. He's still restricted. He's still being told what to do, how to sleep, what to eat. Right? And the food's not that great. Bet is not as harsh as one of these murderous prisons that's out there. This high maximum security prison. But he's planning to serve a 3-year sentence. All right. So that's what happened this week. Michael Cohen is starting to serve his time, and hopefully he'll get something out of it. But analysts said, or specialist people said, that he might find let's say when you go to prison, you have to have some kind of allies, right? So people might go up to him and just try to be his friend. Since he's a lawyer, people might go up to him and ask for legal advice on the situation. But he's not a good lawyer if you got caught doing this. But that's what people think he might do, because in prison you just can't be by yourself because you need some kind of protection and people that's on your side as well. But this is a white collar prison, so it shouldn't be that tough. Well, I can't say I've never been to prison, but I don't know how tough it is. But I don't know. Maybe it would be tough, or maybe it would not be tough. But we still have to find out. But that's one thing that's happened this week. Michael Cohen began his trial in prison. And another thing that happened is that another news. What else? Another news that happened this week. We already covered Nadler. The STEM school shootings, right? If you know, I said last week too. Before what was it, on Tuesday? I said that hopefully there's no school shooting this week. And what happened? Another school shooting happened again. All right. Another school shooting happened. Excuse me one second. Another school shooting that happens again. All right. I knew this was gonna come, right? After that day when I said please don't let it be another school shooting, and I jinxed myself. There's another school shooting. This time it happened in Colorado, right? In a STEM school, a charter school. But one person died and multiple people was injured. Luckily there's not that much else, but prayer go out to the kids who was injured and the family of the one who passed away. But quickly, the media is not covering this story, right? Because all these developing stories coming out, it turns out that the student was a Trump hater, a liberal, right? A liberal, and the other student was fathered by illegal immigrants, right? Who was deported twice, and not only that, the other assailant was a transgender, right? It was a girl transitioning to a boy. All right, is all these narratives coming out right now? All these narratives doesn't look good for the trans community right now. It doesn't look good for the liberal right now, right? Because the person who shot all these people is a liberal, hate Trump, and anti-Christian. He's anti-Christian, all right. And media is not reporting on this because it doesn't fit their narrative of what's going on right now, all right. It does not fit their narrative, and that's a shame, because I've been telling people that the media is not what it seems to be. They're liars, and you gotta look everything in a how am I say this, objectively. Like, they could say one thing, but yet again you have to question what's their narrative, right? Why aren't they reporting on this? And it's quite frankly a shame because of what's going on today. We don't know who to trust these days. But that's what happened. The school shooting happened, I think, in the middle of the week. And I knew something was going to happen. Let's hope. I said this is beginning of Sunday. Let's hope no more shootings happen next week. Let it be a slow news day next week. Please, no more school shootings or some kind of shooting at all. All right? But I can't guarantee on that. Something might happen next week, but we got to make sure. All right, guys? But you hear me say it first. Let's hope there won't be a school shooting. Most likely, I don't know. Let's hope I'm wrong. But because of NK Ultra, because of CIA operative, Masonic, something's about to go down. All right. And on that news, let's transition to another news. All right. Texas passed a bill banning food stamps from using on junk food. All right. And if you don't know me by now, and you know how I feel about food stamp, I'm totally against food stamp. I'm totally against using it on the taxpayer dime. All right, if you're gonna use this thing, you have to be person of need. But they banned it. They passed a bill, banned it on sugary food. Right. This is I'm totally for this, because last thing people need to be on, if you're on food stamp, if you're on lower income, right, the last thing for you need to do is jeopardize your health. All right, and if you buying all all these high sugary processed food, that's not good for you. When you jeopardize your health, that means you have to spend more money on healthcare program like Medicare. All right. If you would not jeopardize your health, all these resources would be used less. All right. So by us jeopardizing the healthcare, right? I mean, by people jeopardizing the healthcare, we have to pay more in taxes. All right. And plus, this is if you couldn't come ask for people help, right? You have to abide by their rules, all right? And this is not their own money. If it's their own money, I don't have no problem. They can go buy whatever they want, all right? But you're living on a taxpayer dime. There's gonna be some strings attached to this, all right? And Texas is doing a good. I agree with this bill, all right? I'm not in for controlling, all right? This is not controlling people's money. This is not controlling people what they can't eat. This is controlling what they can spend with taxpayers' money. If you're on taxpayer money, there's only certain thing you could use it for. All right? You just can't use it willy-nilly on whatever you want. But Texas passed a bill that you cannot use food stamp on sugary food, drinks, and junk food. All right? And I'm all for this, and that's what happened in the news. And I can't go beyond this because I fully support this because it's a preventative measure from people neglecting their health. All right? And so many people right now are on governmental assistance, and they're not taking responsibility for their own actions. So because of this, government had to step in and take responsible for this. And it's really a shame. I mean, people should already know how to tell themselves no, not to eat this, not to eat that. But unfortunately, people aren't that responsible. All right, where before that, like 50 years ago, people were very responsible for their action. Now, people are neglecting. They're being irresponsible of their situation. And now they need more government to tell them what to do. They need a parent. The government is not supposed to be your parent. All right, they're only supposed to be specialized in national defense, protect you from outside intruders. But that's one good thing on the news. Another thing that's on the news is California passed a bill, SB 27, which is trying to remove Donald Trump from the election ballot. All right, this is totally unconstitutional because the election process is on the federal level. All right, so they try to overreach their power. They try to tell people who they can or can't vote for. That's what this bill is for. And other states is adopting this kind of situation, which they know they can't. They know it won't work. All right, because this bill SB 27 is unconstitutional. It's telling people who they can vote for, who they can't vote for. It's stupid. When it goes to the Supreme Court, they're gonna slash it down, and it's unconstitutional. It's basically trying overreaching people's power. They try to take the power away from the people, because if there's one power that the people have control is the voting power. All right, and California tried to do that, tried to prevent people from having power, taking their rights away. All right, telling them who they can or can't vote for. All right, it's totally unconstitutional. The court is going to strike this down immediately. And I hope to see that, because state right now, just because they don't like a president politics, they think they control him by not putting him on the ballot. The reason why they're not putting him on the ballot is because Donald Trump is not submitting his tax form, which is not required. There's no rule in the Constitution where any presidential candidate have to turn in their private tax record. This is private tax record. All right, they're gonna use previous administration in the past. Oh, the president have to. Yeah, because all the president previously was a public figure. I mean, not public figure, a politician. All right, and to show some kind of transparency, from them not being bribed by outside interference, they had to show the tax record. How are they able to make all this money? All right, this is why. But Donald Trump is a private citizen before running into the presidency. So he don't have to show anything. This is not a rule. This is not a written rule that he has to show anything. All right? Anything that he did prior that doesn't serve the public, that's his own personal business. This is what people don't understand. And they try to take this as a way for him hiding information. And then they try to show that he's trying to show that either Trump is making money or paying his taxes or not paying his taxes. If he's not paying his taxes, that means he's a smart guy. He know how not to get trapped by the IRS. All right? If you were in that situation, would you want to pay more taxes or less taxes? right? You want to try to pay as less taxes as possible. And if you're gonna say you want to pay more taxes, you're a hypocritical person, right? In any situation, nobody will want to pay more taxes, right? And he's doing all these loopholes. These loopholes are created for a reason. These lawyers, these legislators put these loopholes to get these companies and these politicians don't have to pay taxes. That's why they created this loophole. And because of that, Donald Trump took the advantage. He also understands this loophole, so he took the advantage as well. If anything, these politicians also use this loophole on not paying taxes. Okay? Why do you think Barack Obama went into office poor and came out rich? Well, he wasn't poor, but he came out with more money than he did exiting office, right? Since for Bill Clinton, they were wealthy, and now they're even wealthier when they got out, right? Because they know the tax law, they know how to write off, they know how to create these foundations, right? These Barack Obama foundations, these Clinton foundations is just a place where they could hide their money without paying taxes. That's what it is. It's an offshore account. It's like a bank account with them not saying that how much money is in there. All right, they have a lot of money in this Clinton Foundation, Barack Obama Foundation without paying taxes. All right, so they're hypocritical to point this out for Donald Trump while in their situation they're doing the same thing. They're guilty of what they're accusing people of, and that's what people must understand with the Democratic Party. They're a bunch of hypocrites. But on another news, all right. On another news, I already discussed this about the gun being found in the Beverly Hills mansion of California. All right, there's a lot of ties with this that's been circulating that this might be a connection with Fast and Furious, because Fast and Furious happened in 2012. It's like 4 years ago. Not 4 years ago, but it's a few years ago. And yeah, I'll report on this when there's more information coming out on this. But Elizabeth Warren tried to come out and try release this proposal of canceling student loan debt. That's another dumb thing that I'm against too, because they don't know the adverse effect of canceling student loan debt. It's gonna be a economic disturbance. All right, it's gonna distort the economy when you cancel this much amount of debt. 1 point something trillion dollars in student loan debt. All right, I know the responsibility when I took out my loans and I'm paying it off. Right, I don't need the government come out and giving me free money and all this stuff. I should try to cancel it, not knowing that when you cancel something like this, it's gonna inflate the money. All right, so our money will be more valueless, more worthless than ever if she's gonna do a quantitative easing for our money system. All right, now not only our money will be valueless or more worthless, interest rate will go up. All right, when interest rate go up, prices will go up. That's what people don't understand. All right, when you cancel something like this, they're gonna have to raise interest rate. When interest rates goes up, tax will go up. All right, when tax go up, cost of living will go up. And they don't know cause and effect. That's the thing. That's what's wrong with Democrats. They don't know what the cause and effect thing is. They think everything is so simple just by rushing it away. And they're stupid. These Democrats don't know. They don't look into the future. That's the thing. That's the difference between conservative and liberals. Right? Liberals are living for the moment. They're living in the moment right now. I think everything is willy-nilly, but they don't think about what's going to happen in the future. All right. And conservative always think about what happened in the future. It might seem nice right now, but what's the catch? There's always a string attached to any kind of situation. All right. And any legislative, there's always a string attached. And the Democrat don't what the Democrat do is they show you all the nice part, they don't show all your bad parts. All right. And they try to sell you this nice thing, but they don't tell you everything about it. So they try to pull out a bill about this also happened about capping the credit APR. All right. And I'm totally against this. Some people might be for this because companies are taking advantage of people. You know what? I'm totally against this because, people, it's already required that all credit card companies disclose how much APR before they sign, right? They have to tell these people before they sign it, this is what you're gonna be charged: 18%, 20%, right? If you see this 20% or 18%, that's if you're smart, and you have to be smart when it comes to money, all right? Don't sign it. That's a high rate, all right? Even 15% is a high rate as well, all right? But the reason why I'm against this capping the credit is because it's overreaching. It's a government is a way of giving more power to the government, and I'm totally against giving power to the government. All right? Yeah, it's a bad thing that the company are doing this, but yet again, when you sign the dotted line, you agree that you understand the situations, and you have to take you have to take that account. All right, they didn't force you to sign the dotted line to get this credit card. You decided to do that. You decided to sign the dotted line without reading all informations. All right, you decided, and everybody told me life after life, credit card is a bad thing, don't sign it. And people are not taking that to account. All right? So when people sign on that dotted line for their credit card, they know what they got themselves into. The company show you the brochure, they show you the interest rate because they have to show it's by law. They have to show you the APR, and you sign it anyway, all right, without consulting with anybody first. So that's a personal responsibility you have to take. That's what's wrong with people these days. They're not willingly taking personal responsibility for their own action. All right, there's a consequences for every action that you have to do. All right, it's not just contract, is by law. All right. For every action, there's opposite reaction, right? For every action you sign for good, you get the credit card. But there's the opposite reaction. They charge you a lot for it, right? It doesn't have to apply to credit. It apply to everything that we're living in right now in the world, right? You decide to drive fast. What's the consequence of driving fast? You might crash into a wall, all right? You know the consequence of driving fast, but you do it anyway. What's the consequences for drinking and driving? You drink for the relaxation, and then you can drive. What's the consequence of that? You might crash to somebody. All right? People are not taking responsibility. All right? This APR is to say that you're not a responsible person. The reason why your credit rate is so high because you're not demonstrating that you are a financially stable person. If you pay your bill on time, your credit score will improve. All right, then you lower your APR rate. Then you have great APR. All right, and I'm totally against capping the actual. I'm not a credit card company. I'm not advocating for them. I'm not protecting for them. All right, I'm not defending them. What I'm saying is that government need to stop overreaching. All right, this is government control. No matter what field it is, what industry it is, it's still overreaching, and I'm totally against government overreaching. All right, fewer government, let the market work for itself, and that's what the card companies doing. They're letting the market work for itself. The reason why people interest rate is going up because they're irresponsible with their money. They are irresponsible people. All right, if you're not irresponsible and you got great FICO scores, right, your APR would not be as high as it is that you had to pay. Get it? If you have a good score, show yourself that you're responsible, you have lower interest rate. The reason why interest rate is high because the people who's apply for these credit cards demonstrate that they are not financially responsible. So that's a safeguard for the company to take to be on the safe side, because how are they know for sure that this person right here are gonna pay on time with the amount they're supposed to pay? Right? Is a process in which the market is working for itself, right? And if the government get into the sectors, right, it's gonna mess everything up. It's gonna sound so nice right now, but watch. I'm gonna bet if this actual passes, right, it's gonna have an adverse effect. It's overreaching. It's government overreaching this power again. More government is not a good thing, right? And that's what Bernie Sanders and AOC is doing with their stupid bill, capping the credit at 15%. It's not a good thing. I'm not for it. All right. Okay. Another thing that happened is, I'm diving back at the school shooting, right? All right. the reason why I'm talking about the school shooting is that there's they had on the night of the shooting they have a candlelight vigils, and what's the first thing a Democrat do? They politicize it by saying, "Oh, this is the Second Amendment, right? We need to take the Second Amendment away." But when they did that, it backfired. All right, the people left the situation, the candlelight vigil, and they were complaining that the Democratic politician was politicizing a horrible event when they should be like showing respect to the victim who passed away, who got injured, right? So that's one story that's on the news. That's what happened. A Democrat, they always like to take the opportunity to take your rights away, especially gun rights away, right? Every shootings, the issue is we're gonna take your guns away. No, that's not the issue. The issue is it was in a gun-free zone, and another issue is that if it wasn't a gun-free zone, they wouldn't be like this. A gun would deter a person from doing all these horrific acts, and that's what the Democrats don't understand. They think every solution is a government intervention. Fewer government, the better it is. The fewer the government, the freer it is. That's what people are not comprehending right now. They're not. They think government is the solution, and I'm saying I'm sounding like a broken record. I'm saying this once again, fewer government is better. But people don't seem to understand that. All right, and then hop on to another story. All right, this is a story that they did a study on of the least feminizing country out there. Surprisingly to me, the least feminizing is a study to see the least feminizing Scandinavian country. And if you don't know what Scandinavian is, basically Caucasian country that consists of Norway, Finland, Denmark, Sweden, right? Those countries are Scandinavian, and they say the least feminizing country out there is Denmark. It surprised me a lot because I thought I figured it'd be Denmark or something or another country, but and I can see why, because I know a person from Denmark, and if anything, he's a very patriotic person, and he described to me that most people in Denmark are not that fond of social justice issues. So it surprised me when I read this research that people in Denmark are the least feminizing country. It's about 40 people within 40% of the population believe that women are not as equal. So that's a few margin, right? So basically, about 60% of the population agree that women have more rights than the men population in Denmark. So I'm surprising because I figure it will be some other country, but that's one thing on the news that I made a video on that, but you guys want to check it out. Another thing that happens, Trump finally pushing the tariff on Chinese product. He's gonna raise it from 10% on the tariff to 25% or even higher. Previously it was 10%. Now it's gonna jump up to 25%. So right now, guys, if you hadn't buy all your stuff right now, buy our Chinese made product, you better start buying all of it right now because prices will go up because of this. All right, either that or buy American made products. I'm what you call a minimalist, so I won't have to worry about that. So I'd hardly buy anything at all. I live a frugal lifestyle, so this probably won't affect me. The only thing that I buy is probably food, and I'm willing to take the sacrifice to show this Chinese company, because the reason why they're not negotiating is because it's jobs. All right. So when we apply tariff on Chinese product, that doesn't incentivize the company to make any product in China, because it's gonna be equally as expensive as the United States. So why even go to China and make product when you just could stay in the country of America and just make and provide jobs over here? I think this is what Trump is trying to do right now, and he's not negotiating. He's just gonna do. I think he need to go even further, just apply a higher tariff, right? And people need to stop buying. If you're a real American, stop buying Chinese products. It just don't. I went to a whole spiel on the video. Just check it out in my video about the effect of buying Chinese product, because you're only helping China out. You're not helping America. Um, and another news of politics of HUD is gonna cut off HUD's service to illegal aliens, right? And I made a video about this. You're going to want to check it out, and I think it's a good thing because all of our service is mainly intended for American citizens, not for people who come from foreign country and exploit the rules, right? And these people want to say that these people don't have money. What they fail to realize that these people have money, right? They have money. How would you think they have the money to pay the cartels to smuggle them in here, right? Most of these people live a frugal lifestyle. They're very into savings, right? So these people have money. Don't tell me that these people don't have it. They have money, right? And that's what people fail to realize. They work under the table, which they're not being taxed on, right? So the program is just only cut vouchers to illegal immigrants. It does not say that illegal immigrants cannot have housing, right? If you have money, you could get your own rent, your own room, right? It just said that they're not going to pay for it anymore. It's not kicking them out, all right? That's up to the landlord. If they talk to a landlord well enough, if they know the landlord well enough, the landlord might let them slide and give them a cheaper rent. But it's not the program is not cutting them out. I mean, it's not kicking people out of their house. That's up to the landlords. Right, it's just cutting the funding for the Section 8s. And the Section 8s is only for American citizens anyway. Why do you think there's a lot of American citizens on the street than it is for illegals on the street? How do you not see... When I walk around, I hardly see any homeless illegal immigrants. I see more homeless American veterans, American citizens, than I do see homeless illegal immigrants. But I go into a spill on this in my video. Go check it out if you guys want to see me talk about more about this. It is a big news again in Denver, Colorado. Denver has been everywhere in the news this week, right? The school shootings, the Denver Nuggets in the playoff. This story is about the psilocybin of magic mushroom. Denver finally become the first state to decriminalizing it. When you say decriminalizing it, it's totally different from legalizing it. It's still illegal to possess these things, but it's less frowned upon. That's what it is. That's what decriminalizing means. It's not there on their radar, right? If they see you, you could get a citation for possessing an illegal substance, but they're probably gonna look the other way, right? But it's still illegal under the FDA or ATF or whatever it is. Schedule 1 drug, all right? It's still illegal to apprehend because it's still on a federal level. They're just decriminalizing it. They're not going to go look for it as hard as they were before. But Denver just did that. Denver's been in the news a lot lately. You got to keep an eye on Denver, all right? If you don't know Colorado. Colorado is a very Masonic state. You can look at the seal. They still have an actual pyramid with eyeballs on it, all right? But I digress on that. And what else happened in the news? Oh yeah, another thing that happened in the news that I went on a video about this, about Georgia just have a heartbeat abortion law. Like you cannot start an abortion as soon as the heart beats, right? It's not saying you cannot have an abortion at all. You can still have abortions, but at the first instant of a heart beating, you can't have it. And then everybody's going crazy. All these women's rights activists going crazy. All celebrities, because you don't know about Georgia. Georgia is a second location where these Hollywood production companies go film movies, because it's very sunny. The weather is always in a good condition. That's why they choose to shoot it in Georgia. It's like the east version of Hollywood. That's what Georgia is. And all these celebrities are coming out, all these production coming out saying they're boycotting Georgia. You know what? Georgia don't care. All right. Why is Georgia bending over backwards for these celebrities? Who care? Who are you? All right. Georgia could survive without them, and they could survive without them again. All right. Georgia, if you're from Georgia and you're listening to this, don't cave into these stupid celebrities. All right. Alyssa Milano are suggesting a sex strike, that women should just give up sex in order for the strike. Like, who is she? Is she the spokeswoman for everyone? these radical feminists are destroying society. Like I said once and before and always, they're agent of chaos. They're causing disturbance for no reasons. All right. The law does not stop abortion. You can still have abortions. Bet it just stopped abortion from a heartbeat, because to them, Georgians, as soon as a heartbeat, they consider they are living beings. All right, they are human beings. That's why they have the law. You can't dictate what the people vote for. The people vote for it. All right? And these celebrities, the galls that they come out trying to boycott the state because they don't share the same kind of interests. First of all, you are a celebrity. You are from liberal California. All right? Your whole principle is totally different from people principle in the South. You just can't force a belief onto people that you don't even, live with. But these celebrities, man, they're overreaching it. Jordan Peele, J.J. Abrams, all pushing all these narrative and all these stupid celebrities, man. And I made a video about this. You want to check it out? Check it out. I don't want to go on a whole rant about this on my on this weekend review. But if you want to check it out, I made a whole video about this. Another story just happened this week or this Saturday is that Donald Trump came out and referred that Pete Buttigieg is a reminiscence of Alfred E. Newman, and he don't understand the concept of Alfred E. Newman because he said it must be a generational thing. But I understand who's Alfred E. Newman. Alfred E. Newman is a caricature on Mad magazine depicted on the cover multiple times about a fictional character. And when you look at Alfred E. Newman and Pete Buttigieg, there's an uncanny resemblance. They look almost exactly the same, right? And I can't deny, I gotta give Donald Trump prop for comparing the two, because that's what it is. Pete Buttigieg is not a serious candidate. How are you gonna expect him to stand to Vladimir Putin? How are you gonna expect him to stand against China? How are you gonna expect him to stand against our enemies? All right, this guy looked like a sissy. It's a sissy, all right? But I don't see why people see him as a leader. And that's the deal with Democratic figure. They always like to push these scrawny figures and tell them that they're leaders. They're not leaders. Right? They're scrawny. Look at Barack Obama. He's a scrawny guy. Pete Buttigieg is a scrawny guy. Robert O'Rourke is a scrawny guy. Bernie Sanders is a geriatric. He's look weak as heck. All right? And Biden look weak. What kind of people that they're nominating? Weak figures. All right? Because of that, Donald Trump is winning again. He's going to win by a landslide. There's no doubt. Even Al Green admit that. He's saying that's why he pushing impeachment so much, because the candidate that they're presenting right now are not electable. All right, all the candidates right now is not electable. And Elizabeth Warren came out of nowhere, tried to sit on a shuttle or a bus or whatever, and try to resonate with the people. Try to indicate that she's with them, right? Like Elizabeth Warren, the last place you should be is on the bus, right? You know she's pandering. This is pandering at level 9,000 right now, right? And then if you're smart, you can always see through the BS. Elizabeth Warren is doing all these stupid things because she knows she's losing in the poll. That's why she is so fake. She's faker than CNN, and you know how fake CNN is. All right, but on to that. On lighter news. All right, I don't know. There's a lot of news that happened. I already talked about the sex strike. Alyssa Milano tried to do that to protest Georgia laws or any state laws that suspecting this. And on the final news, let's say this is the final news, since we already covered Colorado, right? No, I'm not gonna cover Colorado because there's been a news that came out that the dad of the shooter turned out to be a legal alien, and it had to do with transgender too, because one of the shooter is identified as a male when she was born as a female. And that's another narrative. That's why you're not hearing it on the news, because it's not pushing their agendas. It's not in their best interest to report on it. But anyway, I think that's all the news. Yeah, but if you managed to listen to me through the end, I thank you for that. All right, because of my views, YouTube are not funding me. They're not monetizing my channel. That means I'm not bound by any outside interference. That means my shows is unscripted, unrehearsed, and edited. And I mean, I can say whatever the heck I want, all right? Because of that, I'm not taking in any donation. The reason for this channel is to make people aware, to wake people up of the situation that they're living in, to bring them back to reality, and to make people question the world, right? The world more, right? Because people are not questioning. You need to raise questions, and not just raise question on these Democrats. Because another point of my channel is to not get any Democrat official elected, all right, for the 2020 election, because we do not need any more Democratic policy. They're for big government, more control, more taxation, and all these bad stuff. They're not in it for your best interest. And they're great at lying to you. All right, people are starting to wake up that the Democrat people are liars. All right, but if you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe. Follow me on social media, Twitter, gap.ai. But when you subscribe, it shows me that you guys are really watching, and it encourages me to make more videos for you guys. That's why it's important to subscribe. All right. I'm not doing this for money. You don't have to donate anything. I don't have any accounts where you have to send me money at all. I'm not eligible for super chat. I'm not monetized. But if you like what I'm doing, please support me by subscribing. It helps a lot. But on that note, I appreciate you guys for standing with me all this time for 30 minutes, 40 minutes on this video. I know this is a long video, but thank you. And this is the Highly Evolved Podcast Weekend Review. My name is Stefan, and I'm signing out. I'll check you guys out in the next broadcast. Peace.